Welcome back to Justice League right here at Comicstorian. My name is Benny and I'll be narrating today. I like to bring you some of your favorite video games, comic books, and movies on a regular basis. We recap what happened within them, giving you a fun narrative version of the storyline, allowing you to keep up while getting on with your busy day. Justice League has been hugely complex at this point, but I'm going to try to break it down and get you caught up in a hurry. The Justice League freed the villain known as Perpetua, who has basically declared to the universe that it needs to be on the side of Doom. Lex Luthor realized that Doom was the way of the future and sided with Perpetua. He was then merged with a white Martian, becoming the apex predator. He then sent Doom over the entire world, getting the entire planet of Earth to side with him. He then sent out his fortune to all of the villains, allowing them to achieve their greatest desires. And if you want to see the results to some of those, go check out some of our recent DC videos. Now, in order to stop Lex Luthor and stop Perpetua, the Justice League is using Starman to travel through time in different groups as they try to find the totality pieces that they can bring together and stop the ultimate evil and prevent the Doom War. So, to keep this short, the Justice League is split up into three teams: a team in the past teaming up with the Justice Society, a team in the present trying to stop Lex Luthor, and a team in the future dealing with an evil version of the Justice League known as the Justice Legion. And today, we're going to tell you some of those stories. Let's begin with the past. Back in the early days of the morning of December 7th, 1941, John Stewart and the Flash find themselves in one of history's most notorious surprise attacks: the attack on Pearl Harbor. John Stewart and Alan Scott fight off the aerial attacks, while Flash and Jay Garrick focus on rescuing the soldiers on the aircraft carriers below. While Wildcat and Hourman and the others help with the survivors who were overboard, Dr. Fate senses something coming from one of the battleships. It's a piece of Starman's cosmic rod, and it's on a classified aircraft carrier codenamed the Hail Mary. Starman sends out the call to the Flashes and the Green Lanterns, and the four of them quickly converge on the coordinates that they were given. Meanwhile, up in the sky, Sinestro tells Grodd and Cheetah that the League and their allies are headed back towards a specific ship, and they must be stopped. Focus all bombing on that target. Grodd begins to channel his powers, stating that he can do more than just that. He can see them through the soldiers' eyes. He can twist their minds, make them see what the Justice League truly is. Target practice. Down below, everyone runs through the hallway as the soldiers open fire, and Alan Scott asks, "What is going on? The US soldiers are on our side." The Flash tells him that it's no use. They're under psychic hypnosis. It has to be Grodd. Starman then calls out that they're running out of time. The Totality Shard is just on the other side of the wall. John Stewart and Alan Scott then get to work tearing down the steel walls, and inside it is just as Starman said, the piece of the Totality that John Stewart and the Flash were sent to retrieve from the present day. But before they can even step inside, there's a flash of ultra-violent light as Sinestro melts away the metal, telling the heroes, "You will step away from the Totality if you wish to have your deaths painless." Cheetah starts to reach out for the Totality, but as she does, she begins to feel some rumbling from the outside. And it's at that moment that a giant tentacle breaks through the hull, pulling Sinestro, Grodd, and Cheetah out into the ocean. Out on the beach, Wildcat asks Hourman, "I'm not hallucinating, right? Sharks and dolphins are pulling people out of the bay?" But back in the ship, John Stewart asks Flash if he really thinks that it could be. And the Flash asks, "Who else do you think it could be? And how is it even possible?" As the Flash finishes his question, a giant tentacle reaches back inside. But this time, it's holding a person. The hooded man says, "You have to forgive my dramatic introduction. I have made an unlikely ally who saw that you may need help. I have come to tell you something that you all need to know. Even with the Totality, this mission and the others in the future are destined to fail. Doom has all but won, but there's still a chance to turn the tide. To do that, the Justice League needs its Aquaman." Jay asks, "Is this a friend of yours?" John says, "He was, but he died. How is it even possible that he's here?" Aquaman reaches out, grabbing the Totality, telling the others, "We gotta get this where it needs to go. We're going to have to get to Atlantis, and fast." Meanwhile, in the present day, Lex's ship is traveling to the ends of the universe with the Thanagarian fleet focusing their combined attacks on the shields of Lex's ship. As the attacks are deflected, Shiara Hall sends out a broadcast that they need to fall back. Their attacks are useless and they need to send word to the Justice League. Lex listens in on the message, but instead of blocking it, he amplifies it. The Legion of Doom that is located in the past and the future reports that they do not have the pieces of the Totality yet, but they're quickly closing in on their locations. However, there is a growing concern amongst the Legion. A question that cannot be answered yet. What guarantee do they have that Perpetua will return them to the correct timeline? Lex assures them to have faith. Once Perpetua achieves full strength, her powers are limitless. As the connection fades, Perpetua tells Lex that he must not be upset over the Legion's doubts. Even now, she can feel their agents' actions echoing throughout time. Doom is spreading. The League is losing. And as her power returns, the multiverse will become a brutal paradise by their own hands, as she always intended it to be. There is only one child of hers who has ever served her so, the Slayer of Worlds, the Anti-Monitor. With him at their side, their victory will be absolute. But as the final preparations and contact is made to the Anti-Monitor, Perpetua finds that her son remains in hiding. She calls out to him, stating that she understands why he hid from his traitorous brothers, but he need not hide any longer. Mother is here. The Anti-Monitor says that she misunderstands. His actions were not that of hiding, but that of preparing. The multiverse has seen such horror, and he sees now that finally the source of it all, the origin of all of this pain, including his own. He did not come to the end of the universe to help her. He has come to stop her. The Anti-Monitor sides with justice. Now, brothers, let's bring her down. And as a swirling light begins to fade, the Monitor, the World Forger, along with Starman and Hawkgirl, step through the portal. Meanwhile, in the future, the Justice Legion is surrounding the Trinity, with Batman stating that he's got a few taser rings on hand. It might be powerful enough to break Brainiac's control nodes on those heroes. Superman tells him, no, not without lobotomizing this Justice Legion. Commandy, the last boy on Earth, looks around, stating that whatever they're going to do, they need to do it fast. They're losing ground. Future Superman says, the boy is right, there is no escape. Wonder Woman quickly lassos the future Hourman to try and slow them down, and as she does, he says something strange. He's a Diamond Generation intelligent machine colony, DNA programmed with Tyler Merkelow's gene bios software. I am Hourman. I am the master of time, and time is breaking, overriding Brainiac's protocols. At that exact moment, the control nodes on the back of the other heroes begin to light up as they short out, with the future Batman yelling, my mind is back. Is that the original Justice League? Soon the heroes and their counterparts begin to focus their attacks on Brainiac's drones, all fighting in unison. And with Brainiac's control broken, Wonder Woman tells everyone to consider this a family reunion. Superman then says, we all know that this isn't a family reunion without at least one good fight. As the last of the drones fall, the future Starman says that he does not know them, but he has a sense that they have seen them all before. With that, he can sense that they are here for his cosmic rod, the one that he has hidden away within Hourman when Brainiac first appeared. And as Hourman pulls out the piece of the totality that is located within his chest, Brainiac projects himself, stating, you are a foolish android. Even your advanced technology is no match for the intellect of Brainiac. This is a message for the Justice League. I would like you to understand exactly what I have at my disposal. The technologies of hundreds of advanced societies belong to Brainiac now, and I am upgrading my systems. You may now call me Brainiac 1,000,000. Prepare for your annihilation. Commandy looks up at the giant Brainiac, asking what is he doing, but Wonder Woman tells him that she knows that he is afraid, but he must take this piece of the totality. He must guard it with his life. His world may be dark, but deep down he knew that this fight would not be hopeless. So right now, their friends are fighting alongside them across the multiverse. They all have to do this. They all have to fight against Doom. All of them. But meanwhile, back in the past, our heroes are swimming towards Atlantis, with Aquaman stating that they must move quickly to make sure that they aren't noticed. But before they can even reach the gate, the Atlantean guards stop them, telling them that it's too late outside. Surrender to the Atlantean guard. Wildcat cracks his knuckles, stating that he's been itching for a real good fight. Aquaman calls to everyone to stand down. They surrender, and they need to be brought to the king. Off in the distance, Sinestro watches, with his ring glowing, reporting that they have their sights on the Justice League. Make sure our prisoner is ready for his grand entrance. As everyone enters the throne room, Aquaman asks where is their king, and one of the guards tells him that they will not take that tone from a surface dweller. Aquaman pleads with the Atlanteans, telling them that he is from the Atlantis of the future. He knows the king. He is the heir, and he needs to speak with him. But at that moment, there's an explosion of ultraviolet light, and as the smoke clears, Cheetah holds Poseidon, telling him that next time he hits Atlantis, try to make sure he brings down the whole city. Poseidon struggles as he tries to get up from his knees, stating, yes, my goddess. Aquaman shouts that the Legion of Doom is here. We need to speak with the king. But another voice calls out, stating that the king has ceded his authority to someone who knows what this world faces. Atlantis belongs to Vandal Savage and his Legionnaires Club. Now hand over the totality that may allow you to live. Meanwhile, in the present, the World Forger lifts his mighty hammer, swinging it with Hawkgirl right behind him. But as their attacks are deflected off of Lex's shield, Lex stands there and smiles. Hawkgirl tells him to fight, but Lex says that they're doing so well on their own. You're wearing out the last of your strength against our shields. See, I have done the math. There is no way that you could possibly win. Perpetua calls out to her children that they must understand the futility of their actions here today. This is their last chance. Join arms with her today and they shall be forgiven for their betrayal. The Monitor tells her that they will join arms today, but not with her. From this day forth, the brothers three will act as one. They will unleash the power of creation that exists within them as the firstborn children of the multiverse. Perpetua shouts that they are fools. They contain the energies of the respective domains, but they lack the power to shape them. And the Monitor responds with, then perhaps they do not have the power of the totality, but Starman does. And with his powers coursing through them, they can do this. They can merge. So the World Forger asks his brothers if they sense it. And the Anti-Monitor tells them yes. Power unlike anything that he has felt before. The Monitor tells everyone that apart, they are the brothers three, but together, they are the Ultra Monitor, defender of the multiverse in all of its aspects. They are equal to Perpetua's power, and they will not let her win. Perpetua screams to Lex to kill the abomination that was her children. But as Lex gets ready for his attack, Hawkgirl appears before him, telling him, you might want to get a new calculator because it looks like your math is a little messed up. The Ultra Monitor clashes with Perpetua, but while they battle, Hawkgirl focuses all of her strength on Lex Luthor. Lex lunges trying to grab a hold of her, but Hawkgirl cracks Lex in the face with her mace, stating that he is not the apex predator that he thinks he is. And Lex asks her, is that so? Should I tell you what Martian Manhunter's last thoughts were before his body was assimilated? The last pathetic streaks of Jean-Jean's. Do you want to know? Rage fills Hawkgirl's entire being, and she screams for him to not ever say that name again. She will kill him before he does. She spreads her wings to release her power, and the Monitor says that energy, Starman said that it lived in her, and that he couldn't have hoped to believe it. Starman flies down, yelling to Hawkgirl that she needs to stop. She is triggering her power too soon. She needs to use it to fuel the Ultra Monitor when the time is right. If she burns out before the team gets her with the totality, all of this will be for nothing. She shouts to Starman that is enough. She will stop this right here, right now. And Lex calls out asking, do you think I care about your light show? You are nothing compared to me. She takes her mace, slamming it into his head, telling him there is an energy in her as old as the universe itself, and it's all she needs to end him. Meanwhile, in the future, as the heroes in One Future charge towards the Brainiac 1 million robot, Wonder Woman tells everyone that they can do this if they work together. Brainiac 1 million fires a concentrated blast through the group, stating that is incorrect. As Brainiac 1 million, I am growing at an exponential rate. My processing power is beyond anything that you have encountered. I have infinite futures of death at my fingertips. Kryptonite life forms from the 25th century, God Killer snares from the 59th, and these kill drones, a descendant of the ones built by Batman only a century after his time. Hope is futile. Resistance is futile. Submit to Brainiac. Kamandi watches as the heroes are defeated one by one, and he tells himself that he has to do something. Wonder Woman said to get help, but there is no help here. It's just a matter of time before... Wait, that's it! Kamandi runs off, and as he returns, he finds himself in a futuristic city. He says that right now, in the face of the greatest disaster, he sees a different message in the old story. They cannot fight alone, not this time. And a voice tells him that they understand. What do they need to win? And Kamandi stands before Justice League Unlimited, telling them that they need more justice. And that is where we're going to leave you today, dear viewers. This story is crazy and all over the place, but when you know what's going on, it is incredible. And if you want to know what happens next, subscribe to our channel. In 2 weeks, we're going to be bringing it right here on Thursday. Next week, we're going to be continuing the Avengers crazy storyline that's going on right now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, videos like this are entirely funded by our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian, where you get early access to our videos and you get unedited versions of our podcasts. If you want to support us further, please consider going over there. Either way, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow right here at Comicstorian.